on to Cynthia and her man. What was her man's name? What was that man? James or something? Another one that needs to come with a warning and disclaimer. Oh, good Lord. That man was off the chain. Now I understand where Cynthia's coming in. Remember when Cynthia came in, she said she was tired. And now we know why she's so tired. Tired of dealing with this man. I don't know if they were ever married, but dealing with him as the father of her children. She is absolutely tired. She's absolutely tired. And I can also see why she said she wants to really be able to rest in her femininity because she's tired. She's tired of doing everything. Because this man, James, is the type of man that makes the masculine side of a woman come out because he runs over people. And then you start to feel like, I can't even be soft. I can't even be feminine. I can't even relax because I know this man will come in and run all over me. So I've got to buck up all the time to protect myself. This is the kind of man that people need to stay away. Women, if you ever feel the need to buck up all the time against a man, don't get involved. Walk away. Walk away. Because although you may be able to do it here and there, one time here, two times here, you're not going to want a lifetime of it. You're not going to want a lifetime of it. And this man, James, is hell on wheels. Not only does he challenge everything that Andre said and everything that, who else was at the table? That Anthony was saying. He's just antagonistic. He's argumentative. You could tell he's this way even with Cynthia. It's his persona. That's why I tell women always talk around or walking around talking about what kind of man they want. I want an alpha male. I want this. I want that. Stop using those phrases once and for all. But stay away from men who don't respect other people's opinions, period. Even if you feel he's not doing it to you, when you see a man like James, the way he has conversations with other people, the way he runs over them, the way he badgers them, the way he pins them in the corner, stay away from them. Because even if they're not doing it to you in that moment or that moment right then and there, he will turn that venom on you. And the next thing you know, you will be the object of all that hate and heat and arguing and stuff. Stay away from it. He is a walking a red flag too. As soon as Anthony walked up in there, he threw him some shade. He was like, what do you call him? Who's this man coming here with this shag? Woo! And like I tell you, you could already tell these personalities weren't going to get along at this little dinner table because what we know about Andre is Andre needs his ego stroked continuously. And this man was absolutely not going to be giving Andre any compliments. It's going to be the complete opposites. He was going to dig in Andre, and Andre couldn't handle it. And all Andre could talk about was he was in Forbes magazine for business because he runs a multi-million-dollar businesses. I'm in Forbes magazine. I'm in Forbes magazine. And that man was like, what? Who cares? I'm asking you about your flings. I really can't take up for either of these men. I really can't because Jerome, Jason, whatever his name is, I don't know what his name was, James, he was a mess and Andre was a mess. So I didn't pick any dog in this fight at all. I was happy watching them both go at it. Two pit bulls who's going to fight to the death. And finally, Andre got out from the table and says, I'm out of here. I'm not putting up with this stuff. And then Jerome, Jason, James, whatever his name, started punking him, talking about, look at him. He can't take it. He can't take it. See, this is what this guy would do to you if you were in a relationship with him and you started walking away. He would start talking behind your neck, talking about, look at you. You can't take it. See, you wrong. You wrong. He would start mocking you behind your head. We know who he is. Women, review this tape on this man and stay away from people like him. Stay away from him. He need to come with a warning sign and a disclaimer as well. Cynthia, you did right. Get away from him. I'm sorry, girl. You had 2 kids with him. You're going to have to deal with him for the rest of your life. But he going to scare all your men away. You better not introduce him to none of your boyfriends. None. Absolutely not. You'd be better off doing like Jeffrey saying, I don't know where he is. We ain't seen him for 6 years. Cynthia, get Jeffrey's story. Go over there, talk to Jeffrey, say, what story can I come up with? And say, we don't know where he is. We ain't seen him in 6 years. Woo! It was a mess, y'all. It was a mess. But Anthony handled him like a champ. Anthony handled him like a champ, because what Anthony does is when you come up across a person like a James, John, whatever his name is, when you come up against a person like that, the last thing you want to do is buck up with them. And that's the same thing I talk about women. When you see a man that likes to buck up, don't buck up. Turn around and walk away, diffuse the situation and walk away. And that's what Anthony does. That's why I said in the beginning, I thought Anthony and Cynthia would have made a good match, because Anthony's not the type of person that's going to make that masculine side of any woman want to come out. Anthony is the type of person where he's going to diffuse situations and he's not going to pour a gasoline on them. And you see the way that Anthony handled this man. Anthony says, that's fine if you don't trust me, because you shouldn't trust me. Right there. That's how you disarm a person. You don't fight with them, argue with them. You go, you know what? You got a point. You got a good point. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. That's what you do. Call me if you need anything. You know, Anthony probably going to give that man a wrong telephone number. He going to give him his burner phone number. He ain't giving him the real cell phone number. He going to give him the cell phone number that he don't check the voicemails except every 2 weeks. It's a burner phone. Anthony don't want to have nothing to do with that James or John. That's why he said after this, I'm going to have a conversation with Cynthia, because I ain't going to be dealing with that damn man if I'm going to be in a relationship with Cynthia. He said, I'm going to have to talk to Cynthia and say, you know what, can you keep him in check? Because if you can't keep him in check, I'm not going to deal with you, because I'm not going to be dealing with this man. That's what Anthony said when he said, I'm going to talk to Cynthia. I'm not going to be dealing with this man. And if you can't keep him in check, we're not going to have no relationship. We will not have a relationship. So poor Cynthia. Cynthia thinks she's going to be able to rest in her femininity. No, she ain't. Because she always going to have to be in her masculine to handle this man over here. Unless she come up with Jeffrey's story. Maybe she come up with Jeffrey's story and say, I don't know, he been missing for 6 years. Woo, poor Cynthia. I don't know. Poor Cynthia. Most of the time people get rid of you because you the red flag. But now, Cynthia, you're right, Cynthia. He gonna scare off all your men because he is the red flag. But I guess he's looking out for his kids. That's the positive spin we could put on it. We could say that he was being this tough on these men because he's looking out for his kids. I don't believe it. I think it's who he is, period. And yeah, that may be a thought of his, but it's also just who he is. He says he was doing it because he's the one that messed over Cynthia, and Cynthia was innocent. But I came into the relationship with Cynthia and ran over her like a freight train. So now I don't want no other woman to run over her like a freight train. How's the abuser going to become your protector? I don't believe it. I don't believe the story. I don't believe that your abuser can turn into your protector. I don't believe it.